welcome everybody here in the episode of the Scalable podcast. We have a beautiful, minded, and an awesome guest here, Gábor.
Hi guys.
Nice to meet you here. And guys, if you didn't met with him before, that is maybe a hard challenge if you are located in Hungary, because Gábor is always putting out some great content, short form, long form as well. But yeah, in abroad, he's not a well-known artist yet.
Yeah.
So hope that in some years after that, I don't need to introduce you. It's coming. Mm-hmm. But the reason why are you here is that I wanted to record one of these wonderful conversations that we usually have. Mm-hmm. Guys, Gábor is the one person who's always calm when I meet with him or when we are in a big or small group. He's the one who's calm and meditated and always feeling the connection and love with his life and himself and the whole universe. And from him, I got some great tips, tactics, and also methods for my mindset. And for example, for my journaling that I wanted to talk about a bit and invited you to share it with the guys and girls who are listening that one. And also before we started to recording this podcast, we had a beautiful cafe and we wanted to just introduce you a bit about how we recommend to listen this podcast because maybe it will look like we are just jumping from one topic to another without any relation. Mm-hmm. So I think now I can drop the word to you and then you can explain something about your mentality and how to listen that.
Thank you so much for the introduction and welcome again, guys. It's really a pleasure to be here. And I feel super respected by participating in the Scale podcast here now at the beginning. So thank you very much. I'm honored. That's what I wanted to say. And being an entrepreneur and being calm, I think this is the combination not a lot of entrepreneurs face, but looking for. And now I'm building my third business, by the way, which is in English equivalent is Progress. So the Hungarian form is like progress.com, just translated into Hungarian, because I really realized that life is a progress. It's not like a start point and an end point, but it's much rather a progress. And I have clients also like one-on-one, and I also make like processes, if we can say like that, which means I create courses in that I give tools to people like entrepreneurs, moms, dads, all kind of people. Also like students in many ages. So tools that they can implement in their lives and then create change. So at the end of the day, this is what really counts. I could say a lot of like success stories of my clients that what they like after one conversation with me, what they like really like mind-blowing results they made. But I really want to respect their privacy. So now on, I'm just going on with really what drives me in this progress, which is the progress itself, meaning that so I spent the first 7 years of my entrepreneurial life searching for the true meaning of why I'm doing this thing, because I think, and this is a thing I think a lot of us face with in the spiritual kind of, let's say, spiritual world, or let's say conscious world, that a lot of, let's say, spiritual people, I think, that's one point that they are calm, but they cannot do business. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And the point when I realized that not spirituality itself is what I'm looking for was the point when I realized that I have desires. And I see that a lot of us have desires in life that they want to make come true, right? They want to realize their dreams. That's why we are here. We have a kind of imagination. a picture in our mind. And then we have, of course, opportunities like choices. And with the choices and with the tools, we can create the life we desire of. So that's basically the source, or we can call it the origo of what I do. And this is what drives me in this business.
Then maybe we can go down to the rabbit hole of the progress.
Okay.
And then everybody will understand brick by brick this whole story.
Yep.
So from you, I've got some great progress methods, or maybe it's the part of that, or maybe not. But when we sat down in a Sunday afternoon, let's say, in the city center, usually the weekends are the calm places for me, when nobody's ringing your phone. That's the time when you know that everybody is chilling, but you can work on yourself and you can have your space for doing the inner work as well. And then we met in a cafe and you just finished your journaling. And that was the time when I learned this Tibetan method for journaling. That you said that you need to remove yourself from the journal. And I don't want to explore everything about that. Maybe that's your work. You did it more. But the main for me is that if I can remove the me and myself from journaling and my journal, and then it's being just journal and just Milan and just feelings experienced by Milan, that can be a whole different story. Can you talk about a bit from that?
For sure. Thank you for bringing this in. So actually the thing is that we have a lot of tools that we can choose and use in our daily lives to make change. So that's basically the concept of progress. That's the one sentence description. There's a lot of ways to do journaling, actually. And one way, which is one of my favorite, actually is my favorite, is to just open the journal, like open the book that you write in, and then just start to write down everything about yourself as it would be a Persian, but not you. Meaning, so for example, my name is Gábor, like we can say Gabriel, international form, or you are Milan, yes? Or for example, you are Milan. But when you're journaling this way, you are not writing on behalf of you, but you are writing about Milan. What happened not to you, but what happened to Milan, for example. And the concept behind is that, and this is the Tibetan method as well, called neti neti, which means neither this or that, nor that, right? Just to say it exactly, correctly. Which means that you are not your body, right? You are not your name. You are not your thoughts, feelings, habits. You are not any of that. So then, who are you? And when I realized that it's not even that but what matters, because you cannot figure out who are you, right? Because any time, just bring this to home and experience this. I'm also telling this to the viewers and the listeners, if they are on podcast channels. So whenever you kind of realize that this is you, I guarantee that that's going to be an illusion. And that's always an illusion. And in yoga, so just to be honest, what I realized during the last 3 years is that who we are, we cannot describe like truly at its core. So it's much rather... You can also try this. This is one of my favorite tools, is to ask a question. Instead of searching for answers, ask a question and be in questions. And it works as hell. Like, since I've been using this tool in my business, for example, my business grew like hell. Like, I made more records in this year so far now, September is the 9th month of the year. I made more records than ever before in my business career, so to say.
Yeah, and to jump back for this staying in question, it's not as obvious if you are just hearing it for first.
Yes.
Can you show us an example or show me an example like how you can go by question by question?
Sure. Oh, great. Thank you for bringing this in. So for example, one example is that whenever, it doesn't matter if you are a businessman, entrepreneur, like a wife or a dad, doesn't really matter. But one really good question to every field of your life is that if there would be no problems, what would you choose? Meaning that, for example, because what I see in the business, for example, a lot of people think that there are problems that they need to solve in order to make money. So that's right. So that's the traditional concept. And how I see this thing is that, so it's just really a question here that what would you create in your business, for example, if there would be no problems? Because anytime when you make solutions to a problem, what does it generate? Problems, right?
Yeah.
So, so the core question here is that, and that's the first question. Okay. So really that's before the first question, I would say, is that, what do you want in life? So what life do you want to live? And there's like an advanced question to that. And this question changed my life, like in 3 months, like radically. And that is this one, that what if you don't have to figure out what kind of life you want to live? It's enough to ask that question, that what life does want to live through you? I would say like this. What if there is already the life that wants to live? If you would choose, like if you chose allowance, if you allow to that life to live through you, then you would have no problem at all. And you could,
So then these are some first questions. And the secret is that if I ask the question that what should be my business if there's no problems, or what is the life that would like to live through me, then I don't start to looking for the answers, but just sitting in calm. And if something is spread out in my mind, then I'm questioning it again.
Perfect. Yes. So the whole idea behind is to pay attention to the right thing, right? Because as long as we don't know what to do with our lives, we can do many business. We can have multiple businesses. But as long as we don't know the true direction of our lives, then you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. So just I wanted to stay on some example, like what kind of life would like to live through me?
Yes.
Like that's the life when I'm creating all the time. I need to create every time the same, or I can choose from multiple options. These options can be, so like I'm questioning everything that I'm searching as an answer. Then I switch the answer to a question and use it again and again. I'm doing it right?
Perfectly, right? Let me just give a little insight of this story of my life, which was not so long ago, like 9 months ago, when I had no money at all, right? I had money, I had like debt, right? I had to give money to other people who lended me money, right? I was sick. There was kind of like a cancer-ish something in my mouth above my teeth. The doctors couldn't say what it was. And I didn't know what to do with my life at all. I was super depressed. That was in January this year, 2023. And as a fifth element, the woman I was loved in with just told me that she cheated me with another guy. All in the same time, right after Christmas. That was deep as hell, man. That was super deep. And that was a point when I didn't want to live. I mean, I was not thinking about, So I was not thinking about suicide, not at all. I was so deep at that point that I didn't want to experience that kind of pain, mental pain. And I know that I'm not alone with this, right? There are many people facing. I think everybody on earth experiences this. And the difference is that I think here, and this is what helped me a lot, is the one sentence reminder that we have choice. And wherever we are, doesn't matter what kind of situation, it really doesn't matter. If we don't have anything, choice we have. And this is my kind of, so to say, all the time, this is what I start my Facebook lives, for example. So every content I make, this is the basic kind of idea, not idea, because this is evidence-based. So this is what changed my life. In 5 months, I made enough money to pay out everybody. So this kind of stuff in my mouth disappeared. So I cured myself, I cured my body. I made not just that money that I paid off to the people who gave me earlier, but also enough money to cover everything for a really good life. So really a good life. And I'm happy. And this is amazing. I think that this is kind of the main direction now in my life, that I follow what makes me happy. Because what the things I do that makes me happy will make others happy as well. This is the concept on that I build my business, actually.
Because we jumped up in this happiness theme.
Yep.
What's the happiness for you? For going to philosophical
heights.
Heights.
Great. That's amazing. Happiness is not a state of mind. So it's not a feeling. A lot of people have a lot of viewpoints about happiness, what happiness and what happiness isn't. Happiness is when you are on your place. I don't know in English if it's good or not, but I hope you will understand. So happiness is when you are on your place. And it doesn't mean that kind of bad things doesn't happen to you, like bad things don't happen to you. It much rather means that whatever happens to you, you're fine with that. That's happiness. You can have multiple businesses, you can be a Forex trader, you can be an artist, you can be all of that at the same time. It's really up to you. This is, So you are using your words that you are in your master zone. Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Shall I elaborate that a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I just wanted to throw it up.
Yep.
The conversation.
So all of us are talents in something, meaning that all of us have super skills, and all of us have skills that only, for example, you have, or I do have, or you have, the person who is now you man listening this podcast. And the thing is that a lot of us use just a tiny amount of the skills they got. So all of us have a lot of skills, but most of us use only just a tiny percentage of our skills. All of us are talents. You are talented in something, I am talented in something, or many things. You are talented in some things, the person who is listening or watching this podcast episode. And my mission is that, like profession, we can also say that, is to show people their way to success. And success and happiness, for me, is the same thing, which is, we can say harmony, but So here, I really like to make it super simple. It means that you are okay with whatever happens because you care about yourself, use your skills, and creating the life you want to live. And that's the like the main point here, that you are not paying attention to others and what you should do based on what they do. You are following what works for you. This is one of this is also one of my favorite tools, to always pay attention to what works for you right now. And again, in business, for example, or in relationships, or in your like money-wise, what you spend your money on, or like friendships, right? It's not really relevant what others do or like what society does. Much rather what matters based on my experience. So it's really like evidence-based stuff. All of the things I'm talking about is that if you just choose continuously what works for you, your life will change in 3 months totally.
You mean like it can work for me if I realize that it's easy, or I realize that I'm successful in it, or how can I choose that what is works for me or what's not in your opinion?
Sure. So first, always ask a question. A question in a situation, for example, where you don't know what to choose. You can ask, okay, which choice would bring me more ease if I would choose that? That's the first question. Because imagine questions like a wish. If you ask a question, it's like a wish to other wishes that you have. It's like, you got it, right?
Yeah.
So this is the function of questions. That's why I love questions, because you open a door and you see that there are many other doors that you can open. It's like an endless
door opening.
Yeah. And like
Nice.
like an endless playground. That's my basic philosophy, actually, that life is a playground. Like, we are here to play. And this is kind of really what drives me and interests me most, how we can play this game. So that's actually my inspiration.
Wow. I just started to visualizing this whole thing, like when you are in question, you can so in my mind something came up like in the Matrix movie, like when you ask the right question, then a door opens and it brings you a whole room.
Absolutely.
With maybe a lot of things, but it can be empty or something. And if you are staying in question, there's another doors appear from nowhere.
Yep.
And you can choose that what door would you like to choose. And it's like a labyrinth. You can go deeper and deeper by question. And also you can go back for 2 rooms before where you had your before question, and you can choose another door and you can explore a lot of worlds.
Yeah.
That's are also the main thing for me, is that they connected with each other. These rooms, these questions, the answers that you don't need to answer for yourself. Because in my experience, if I'm going 10 or 20 or 30 questions deep, then I will just feel the whole thing around me, and I starting to merging with the answers without I try to force myself to, hey Milo, let's answer this and this and this. So that's the true power that I started to experiencing by that, like doing the exercise for 20 minutes long.
Yeah, 100%.
With closed eyes.
100%. Yeah, this is actually the function that, because you know what I see, that a lot of people don't know what makes them truly happy. Because a lot of people think that if they had money, they would be happy. But then we can see people who have money, like 9 out of 10 are not happy. So what brings you to happiness? And I think one step definitely is being in question, because life itself is easy. We make it hard. And I mean hard. So let's just get here for some sentences.
For sure.
Yeah. So hard and easy. So it's not the same like comfortable and uncomfortable. Easy in a lot of cases are uncomfortable because saying no to a thing that seems to be a huge potential, for example, in business, that's uncomfortable. For example, saying no to a big client because somehow you know that this is not the direction you want to create, right? And this is the other half, not the half, but more than half, because this is what I see a lot of people choose, is that they choose comfort over uncomfort. And on long-term play, comfort is the killer. So comfort is hard. Because on long-term, if you get into habit with being in comfort and act comfortably, you're never gonna make your dreams come true.
Yeah, and as you started saying this, what's the difference between the hard and easy choices or life or things? I just started experiencing like the same thing from different perspective, from different lenses, can be hard or easy. For me or for you can be the same thing. For example, for you can be easy, for me it can be hard. But also for me it can be hard, but after I accomplish the task, then it can be changing to easy. Absolutely. In my mind. So it's basically just the mindset that how is the relation between me and the task or the something that I need to do. Is that I can put a sticker on it, like it will be hard or it will be easy.
Absolutely.
So I'm more likely to use or not use these things, or just using that, oh, it will be easy. I were being in a really great class for training in the Marriott. The trainer guy, Attila, was always like, after where everybody was sweating, we went through a half an hour of so tough exercises with the full body of yours is hurting everywhere, and then the music is so loud, the new exercises begins, and he just shouted out like that, oh my God, guys, it's so easy, we can do that. And with this whole mindset, he started to pushing us to, okay, it's easy to make another exercise, another one. And from this mindset, it was came to me like, I don't need to struggle with the exercise because it's easy. And he just started to lying to our brain and to this small monkey in our head that, oh, that will be easy.
Yeah,
I can do that. And that's the happiness that how he faced up with these hard challenges.
Absolutely. Like we are on the same page. So a lot of people have misconceptions in their heads about and in their minds about easy. Easy is not about comfort again. So easy doesn't equal comfort. Easy, for example, is this what you just said. So easy can be working 16 hours a day, 5 times a week, seven times a week. It can be the easy if this is the life that wants to live through you, because the life that wants to live through you is easy. Everything else is hard on long term. And if it's that you work your butt off or like your ass off, then that's easy.
So you say that where my flow goes in my life.
Exactly.
If I go with my flow, it can be easy. If I want to turn another way or turn back 180, then I will swimming in the opposite way where my flow goes.
Absolutely.
Or wants me to go in life. And then when the things are getting harder and harder, because I want to fight with my destiny, my whole, I say this destiny thing. So do you believe in that?
Yeah, I have goosebumps now that you just said that. Hard can be easy if it makes you happy. So that's the basic concept. If it makes you happy, choose it. Doesn't matter how uncomfortable it is. Then on long term, that's going to be easy. And just to make a super easy and simple example here is that I started to go to the gym like 2 times a week and then do calisthenics at home sometimes like 3 to 4 times a week. And not I only realized that my body is more muscular, like view-wise, but also it's much easier to do the daily things, activities. So for example, house cleaning, to like if there is a hard package to carry, much easier to carry anything than before. So my life became easier just by pulling weights all the time, which can be hard at the time, right? Like sweating in the gym, right? Or like doing these exercise when you feel the pain.
Yeah.
But it's not hard if it aligns your direction and your vision. So so this, now we are there. I feel now we got here.
Let's talk about a bit from your vision, because if you telling that you have your frameworks, you have the process.com, you have everything when you are lifting and helping people to reaching the next level of them. What's your next level? What helps you to there? Because that's also something that you didn't experience before. What helps you to go for there, and what is this?
Place? Thank you very much for the question. So now my vision is to bring depths, so different depths into the business, meaning that now I create content every day. I post them on Instagram, Facebook, and on social media accounts like TikTok. And like I created so far 2 podcast episodes weekly, and I distributed them to 4 different channels on YouTube podcasts with video as well. Not so many people do videos in Hungary. And then later on, if I go to international, that's the same plan applies here. But let me just pin out one thing here. I'm really proud of that. In 3 months, with 33 podcast episodes, the Folyamat podcast, this is the Hungarian name, so the Progress podcast, became the top 3 conscious related podcast channels on Spotify, which is a record actually, which is a milestone. And to see, because the people, how the people can connect to my content now is either they follow me on social media or listen my episodes on different channels, or there's 2 more things I offer, which one is the first, which is a deeper like a deeper opportunity to change. One is to come to a one-on-one session, which I do online, so even people who doesn't speak Hungarian can come because I can speak English. That's my further vision to expand. So not my vision, the Progress's vision. So it's the vision of progress. I just do later on I will talk about that as well. So one is the occasion. I think this is the right way to say. So like one-on-one session, 60 minutes, game changer, boom. That's gross. Like people give me feedbacks about just one session. Like that's like crazy, man. Really, really crazy. And that's also good to me because it also makes me, so to say, based on these feedbacks, I feel that this is the right direction, and this is what I just keep my focus on. Yeah, this is key in business. Consistency, to keep your focus on the same thing and do it again and again and again.
So you said that that's the one thing, the one-on-one sessions, and what's another thing?
Just like today, I created, not today, but days ago, I created another space, like a Facebook group first, which is the community. Because first, I see the most important is knowledge, giving the tools to people they can start to use. And then when they see and feel the change, then what I realized that there are people who want to go deeper. And for them, I want to provide a space where they can go deeper. And the next is community. That's actually free to join. In that, so in a community, I can share like deeper content. Not as deep as a progress, like one-on-one session with me, but still deeper than on a podcast channel. And then they can interact with each other, so they can connect to each other in a Facebook group as well. And later on in my vision is to organize retreats in amazing places, maybe with you. So that's also in the plan, to give opportunities to people to go deeper in change and create the life they want to live. That's the main vision.
So when you started it, let's say in January, you realized that you will have these plans, or you just had the plans for like, let's do podcast and let's see what will happen?
I had no plans at all. So after building up 2 businesses, at that point in January, I got to the point when I didn't know. I just wanted to forget everything I learned so far in my life. And then, I asked that another one of my favorite questions is that, if anything was possible, what would I choose? So that was the point when I realized that if I just quit for a moment from my mind and from my thoughts, I just zoom out a little bit and then just observe of how my business wanna grows. Because in a lot of cases, I think like 99 of 100 entrepreneurs have the tendency to forget that a business is also an entity, so to say. Like, just like we have identity, right? Like anything is basically, like a business is always an entity, and it's not a woo-woo thing, because this is how I build my businesses and I make more money than ever before. So this is one of the evidences that this shit does work, right? And this is that so if there is an expansion or like a business growth, before that, I always just ask this question that, my business, in this case, progress, how do you want to grow? It's like a child, right? Or like a dog. If you have like a child, you don't figure out how the child will grow, right? Or like a tree in nature. It grows by itself. You don't need to control that thing. The same thing applies in business.
So if I can see my business as a tree or something that wants to grow, because that's the normal or the basic behavior of a business or a tree, I just need to give the water, the sunlight, and everything that it needs to grow, and it will decide on themselves and giving us signs about how I would like to grow.
Yeah, 100%. So this is the way how I do business currently. And like just with the progress.com. So my current business, I pay attention to mostly. I hit several records. And one of them that I just mentioned, I think to you in the episode break, was that I hit with the episode, like with podcast, because I also have a podcast in the progress.
If I jump from now, I don't know, 1 year or 2 years in the future, what's the milestone that your business is signing you that, Gabriel, I would like to hit that record? What's that one for the ending of this episode?
Absolutely.
Too?
So really one of the main direction is to go like over the boundaries, over the borders, beyond the borders, so to say. Meaning that go international, because I see that Hungary is amazing and there's still a lot of potential in Hungary. But first, I want to really gain more experience by doing the one-on-one sessions and the podcast episodes, and now the community. And later on, on behalf of the progress I could say that the progress doesn't want to stop the show, meaning it wants to expand internationally. So that's going to be the next, to gain internationally, to organize retreats all over the world. South America, Madeira, for example, or like in Asia in amazing places, maybe in Bali, not just in Hungarian, but in English, with a lot of, that's not true, a lot of, but selected people who are super like-minded. It's not really the leading motivation in my business to have higher and higher and higher numbers, like higher number of followers, audience, etc. It's much rather important to have the freedom to create. And this is what I love in business. If I can create that space in that I can create value for that people pay, that's the game I want to play.
So I'm so warmly welcome you in the first day of building the progress more and more heights.
And it just started. You're talking now in English.
Yeah.
A lot of people all over the world will see this.
So I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much.
I will link everything down that is related to you, the podcast, the website and everything for gaining the connections.
Okay.
And till we next meet, so happy journey that I wish for you for the progress.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And also thank you very much for everybody who listened or watched this podcast. Any platform, make a wonderful day. That's my motto.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Ciao.